Hi, I'm Marta,
Hi, I'm Anna.
and we'll be talking about risk and resilience theory, specifically about at-risk students. Ormond defines at-risk students as students with a high probability of failing to acquire the minimum academic skills necessary for success in the adult world. Some characteristics of at-risk students include a history of academic failure, older age in comparison with classmates, emotional and behavioral problems, lack of psychological attachment to school, and increasing disinvolvement with the school. We chose to analyze students that come from low socioeconomic backgrounds. Ormond writes, children from low socioeconomic status are at a higher risk of leaving school than are children from socioeconomically advantaged backgrounds. Students from low-income families may be unable to afford materials and resources to help encourage students, may be unable to benefit from qualified teachers and schools, and are more likely to develop learning behavior difficulties. Some additional at-risk challenges that teachers may face include students that have learning disabilities, students with emotional or behavioral problems, that have different cultural backgrounds that are the minority, students from non-supportive home environments, students with different academic backgrounds, and a poor capacity of the school to meet the students' needs.
At-risk and resilience theory requires students to be in an inclusive and flexible environment, commitment to social justice work, and a collaborative school-wide approach. This means building time and opportunities for collaboration and an attention to relationship with the mentality of an ethic of caring. In these environments, they enable trust, respect, and a sense of perspective for the students to experience. Those opportunities for collaboration also create student-peer interaction and leadership. In the classroom, educators can create shorter instructions. They can regularly assess the child's understanding of their instructions and content. They need to remove as many distractions as possible and structure tasks with more ongoing feedback. With the practice of self-regulation, these activities include goal setting, planning, self-monitoring, and self-rewarding. Most importantly, teachers need to explicitly teach those students the template of creating a goal, planning to reach that goal, and also checking thoroughly and regularly of the routine of reaching that goal. As an example for at-risk students, the film Freedom Riders explains a teacher, Miss Erin Gruwell, who personally got to know each one of her students who belonged in low socioeconomic communities. She adapted her own teaching methods to fit her students' needs, and she also gave them respect and expected the same back from them, along with the promise of succeeding in her class. Some of the techniques that she had used was the practice of self-regulation, where she had asked them to write their own stories in journals and to give students a voice of their own. She also fostered a sense of trust, respect, and a sense of perspective in her classroom as well. She provided ongoing feedback, and then she had asked the students to evaluate their progress as well as giving them high expectations because she has believed in each one of her students.
Miss G, can I read something from my diary?
That'd be great.
Who's he?
Man, he's been with us since freshman year, fool.
What's his name?
I don't know.
The summer was the worst summer in my short 14 years of life. It all started with a phone call. My mother was crying and begging, asking for more time, as if she were gasping for her last breath of air. She held me as tight as she could and cried. Her tears hit my shirt like bullets and told me we were being evicted. She kept apologizing to me. I thought I have no home. I should have asked for something less expensive at Christmas. On the morning of the eviction, a hard knock on the door woke me up. The sheriff was there to do his job. I looked up at the sky, waiting for something to happen. My mother has no family to lean on, no money coming in. Why bother coming to school or getting good grades if I'm homeless? The bus stops in front of the school. I feel like throwing up. I'm wearing clothes from last year, some old shoes and no new haircut. I kept thinking I'd get laughed at. Instead, I'm greeted by a couple of friends who were in my English class last year. And it hits me, Mrs. Gerwell, my crazy English teacher from last year, is the only person that made me think of hope. Talking with friends about last year's English and our trips, I began to feel better. I received my schedule and the first teacher is Mrs. Gerwell in room 203. I walk into the room and feel as though all the problems in life are not so important anymore. I am home.
In terms of creating resilient students, there is no specific group that can't handle adversity. Success stories come from all kinds of groups and individuals where they overcome hardships and struggles that deal with stories of cultural diversity and linguistic differences or even economic disadvantages. And so for students who come from low economic status backgrounds, we want to create resilient students out of them. And with the following video from Dr. Angela Lee in a TED Talk called Grit, the Power of Passion and Perseverance, she talks about how we can use that power of passion and perseverance to create resilient students.
And it is the belief that the ability to learn is not fixed, that it can change with your effort. Dr. Dweck has shown that when kids read and learn about the brain and how it changes and grows in response to challenge, they're much more likely to persevere when they fail because they don't believe that failure is a permanent condition. So growth mindset is a great idea for building grit, but we need more. And that's where I'm going to end my remarks, because that's where we are. That's the work that stands before us. We need to take our best ideas, our strongest intuitions, and we need to test them. We need to measure whether we've been successful, and we have to be willing to fail, to be wrong, to start over again with lessons learned. In other words, we need to be gritty about getting our kids grittier. Thank you.
Thank you for listening, and we hope that you have become more informed about at-risk students.